Hi, this is Joe's Corner 76. I will be commenting on issues that affect the human condition. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Joe's Corner 76. You can hear me on Spotify, Google Podcast, Anchor FM, and YouTube at Joe's Corner. To change the human condition, we need to be engaged. I would love to hear from you. Can we beat climate change? There are many opinions out there, from climate change isn't real to those who just see doom and gloom with no hope. So why do anything? We have a chance to reverse climate change, but only if we start acting now. We're in a war with Mother Nature, and in the past she has been the winner, and she will be again unless we act now. When we look at the number of species that have gone extinct, what makes us think we are unique? The change in climate has affected our weather systems, started the polar caps to melt, and the oceans to become acidic. A global effort is required by all countries in order to solve this crisis by the burning of fossil fuels. Coal is the dirtiest burning fossil fuel, even more so than oil and natural gas. It's also a relatively cheap fuel. China, the US, and India and other poor countries burn coal to produce electricity. This produces a lot of carbon dioxide. The poorer countries want the same lifestyle as we have in the West. Electricity is required for this. They are going to continue to use coal to produce energy. There has to be a way to change the way fossil fuels are burned, as well as coming up with ways to replace coal. One of the most immediate methods is to help them to switch to the burning of natural gas, which produces only half of the amount of carbon coal does. What other ways can we reduce the production of CO2? Planting trees on a massive scale to fight climate change and reduce CO2. Let's plant 1 trillion trees, or even maybe more. A study by Swiss scientists says that even with existing cities and farmland, there is enough space for new trees to cover 9 million square kilometers. This is roughly the size of the US. Study also says that over the decades, these trees could suck up nearly 750 million tons of CO2 from the atmosphere. This is about as much pollution as human beings have produced in the past 25 years. Another immediate way is to stop destroying the Amazon rainforest. It's a legacy for all humanity. Offering the countries involved incentives to do this would help. More efficient farming methods to reduce deforestation. We can't afford to burn more than 1/3 of our fossil fuels unless we develop widespread carbon capture and storage. This is a process where carbon is captured and stored from large producers of carbon. It's transferred to a storage site and deposited so it won't enter the atmosphere. This is a possible way to stop contributing to global warming and ocean acidification. Another method of carbon reduction is to use it to desalinate wastewater and create useful chemicals. Carbon can be used in fertilizers, cement production, and making graphene. We need to look at alternate sources of energy to replace the burning of fossil fuels. The first thing to get alternate fuels in use is their acceptance on a worldwide basis. Replacing the burning of coal with natural gas is a short-term solution. It only produces half the carbon coal does. A distribution scheme needs to be in place to provide transportation for this resource. Developing hydroelectric where it's feasible. We have to be careful not to be destructive of the ecosystems in place. Hydro projects can result in the loss of use of land for agriculture and forest. It destroys wildlife habitats, and communities can have to be relocated. The type of dam built can use greater amounts of land if it is flat versus hilly. There can be political repercussions if there's a change in water distribution between companies. What about renewable energy, such as solar and wind power? Let's look at some of the pros and cons of these energy sources. Wind energy. Wind can be harnessed day or night, but it's an unpredictable energy source. Wind can generate power on a massive scale, but turbines are susceptible to damage by lightning and wind. Turbines can be built offshore, but can kill flying wildlife. Turbines can provide more energy than solar, but they are noisy. Turbines can be built in rural areas, so transmission lines need to be built to move the electricity. Solar power provides more predictable energy, but it can't produce at night. Solar farms can generate power on a massive scale, but not all roofs have the right orientation or angle to catch the energy. Solar panels can be installed in rural, suburban, and urban areas. Despite the fall in solar panel prices, upfront costs can be expensive. Once solar panels are installed, they require little maintenance, but they produce less power than turbines. Solar panels take less space versus turbines, and they are less conspicuous and not noisy like turbines. Solar power has a great future. By 2022, the capacity for renewable energy will increase by 43%. Solar costs will further decrease, and so global solar capacity will increase. More solar companies will use power to create jobs. At this point, the massive requirements of energy can't be met by hydro and renewable resources. Nuclear power is a clean and efficient way of producing non-polluting sources of energy. In the past, massive investments and technological requirements made it hard for many countries to use it. Small modular nuclear technology can be developed and used in areas that are connected to the electric grid and those that aren't. These can produce economical, clean energy to replace coal. It can be used in rural and urban areas to provide energy for residential and industrial. This would replace coal in Canada, and it could be applied in India and other countries using coal. It's a powerful climate saver. We need to build more efficient transportation systems that make it viable and practical to use mass transit versus the car. Imagine what removing thousands of cars would do. Production of electric vehicles would help, as long as we ensure we solve any pollution problems due to batteries that are required. What can we do as individuals to fight climate change? Unite for bold climate action. Send a strong message to our leaders that bold action is required and it's non-negotiable. Use energy wisely. You pollute less and save money. Unplug electronics when not in use. Use energy efficient light bulbs. Install a heat pump. Wash clothes in cold water. Winterize and get energy saving appliances. Use renewable energy where possible. Eat for a stable based client. Eat more meat free meals. Buy organic and local where possible. Don't waste food. It required energy to produce it. Start a climate conversation. We need to talk about climate change and work together to resolve it. Green your community. Take public transit, car share, ride a bike, or switch to an electric or hybrid vehicle. Fly less. Consume less. Spend time with nature, friends and family. Recycle, fix, compost, and repurpose. Or you can be the reason for the destruction of the planet. What do you want to do? Nothing is not an option. Let me hear your thoughts.